Hello, and welcome back to Leveraging Operations in Leadership. Today, we're asking a question that every growing company or business eventually faces. The question is, are you actually ready for a new hire, or are you just tired? If many of you are like me when I first started my business, that hit home. When we are overwhelmed, we immediately think we need to get help. I need to hire somebody. So if I have money, I am going to, pay somebody a salary to kind of throw at the problem. But if you hire into chaos, and I know I've said this before, but it's the truth. If you hire into chaos, you just get expensive chaos. So you have to make sure that hire is really the person that you need to hire at the time that you need to hire them. Today, I want to walk you through a pre-hire mini audit. And this is just like something to help you see if your bottleneck is a lack of people or simply a lack of operational precision. Let's go ahead and dig into it. When we are talking about this audit, the first thing we need to do is we need to understand what is in our house, right? What is it that we are actually doing? To kick this off, I want you to do something. If you have not already done it before, those of you that have worked with me, I know you've done it. I want you to, for one full week, I want you to track your output, and if you have a team, track their output. Even if it's you and a virtual assistant, you and a part-time project manager, whatever it is, I want you to track your output. And we are looking for operational drags. And this is basically things that slows you down. And this can look like manual tasks, like, doing manual data entry or status updates. So I want you to really go through and track your tasks. If you are spending, say 15 minutes on it or more, and you're doing it more than once, it should show up on your list. So make that list. And when you make that list, I want you to go through and put it into one of three categories. The first thing is eliminate. Is this something that I can eliminate? We have a habit of getting into a routine and really forgetting about why we do something or what we're expecting in terms of an outcome. We could have started doing something for one reason and we no longer need to do that. So you really want to go through and evaluate and say, okay, if I'm performing these tasks, this process, these workflows, what am I looking to get out of it? Is it still applicable to my business? Is it still applicable to the goals that I have? So go through, evaluate it. If it's something that you can eliminate, great. The first thing we want to do is get rid of stuff. The second thing is operational efficiency. Is there a way to take this and make it more efficient? And this could be through streamlining the workflow, automating some things, or enhancing the output with AI. And we're going to talk in that a little bit more detail. The last thing is, after reviewing for operational efficiency, the third thing is then and only then we're going to delegate. If we can't eliminate it, we can't automate it or enhance it with AI, we are going to delegate it if it's something that can be delegated. So that's when the human comes in. That's when the hiring takes place. I want to go back to the automation and the AI augmentation. When we think about these two things, one of them, you'll hear me refer to them as one is the conveyor and one is the engine. Automation is the conveyor. Think of automation as moving things from here to there. This is your predictable. If this, then that. If you are manually moving data, say for instance, you have leads that come through your website and you're manually taking that information and you're putting it in your CRM or you're putting it in your project management software, that is something that could be automated. You don't need a virtual assistant to actually do that. That's something that you could do. When you think about AI augmentation, the engine, this is where you are really thinking about information processing. Unlike the conveyor or automation, which just moves the box, the engine actually looks inside the box. And when you turn on that information, you turn that information on when you need to connect the dots. Examples of this could be, for instance, you have Zoom calls, and from those Zoom calls, Zoom already does AI, it's included in there, but maybe you have a specific format. Say, for instance, I'm a coach. I have coaching calls. I have a specific format that I like my information to be placed into. I could use AI to extract that information and put it in the template and send it to my, or create a draft. I don't recommend automatically sending. That's a personal preference, but put it into a draft format, give me an opportunity, or my virtual assistant an opportunity to review it, and then send it off to the client. That's something that AI can help with. Or maybe you get a lot of emails from potential clients. AI can take that information and can categorize it or group it based off a criteria. This is really great for people who have a pre-qualification where they have their people fill out application and they go through a qualification process. Well, as long as you can define what that looks like, you can have AI help you to categorize, is this person a good fit or are they not a good fit? So those are just some examples. I mean, the sky is the limit with both of these things. This is something that you have to take and look and apply to your business. This is the actual heart of the audit because this is where that efficiency comes in. Now, here's a caveat that I want to say before doing either one of these, whether it's AI or automation or strictly just automation. You need to know your workflows. I find that sometimes people try to create efficiency and automate something, but they don't understand how it works. They haven't defined from beginning to end what that workflow looks like. When you have it defined from beginning to end what it looks like, it becomes easier for you to pick out the components, because maybe the entire thing can't be automated. Many times it can, but maybe it can't, right? But even if you can automate certain components and certain steps along the way, that is going to be a game changer. So make sure you are laying out your workflows and then saying, okay, here is what it is that I can automate. I can automate this part, or I can use AI for this part. So make sure you are doing that first. Once you do that, now I know I'm either going to eliminate it. There's an opportunity for operational efficiency. The last thing is, okay, if it doesn't fit into one of those buckets, then hey, it may be time for me to hire, which is fine, right? Now you want to put it through the stranger test. And basically, this is, if I bring somebody in, do I have documentation and everything needed so that they can literally perform the task? If your processes only live in your head, a new hire now becomes your shadow. For the next 60 to 90 days, they're going to be following you around, asking you questions. You're not going to be as productive. They're not going to be as productive. This is an opportunity for you to document it. And if you have people on your team, you also want to do a redundancy check to make sure that you don't have people doing the exact same thing. Now, can you have backups? Yes, I definitely believe that you should have backups. So if somebody is not in today, somebody else can pick up and do that. And this is why the other benefit to having your processes documented is extremely helpful so people can pick up and do it. But just making sure that you don't have a lot of overlap unless that is your intention, right? So maybe you have a sales team, so they are actually doing the same thing, but it may be, based off, people leads that come from different sources or begin with different alphabet. There's some type of way to kind of separate them so that they're not crossing over each other, but they may in essence be performing the same task. That is intentional. I'm talking about where people are just picking up and doing the same thing and it's not intentional. Okay, so those are the things that you really want to look at. Once you get to the point where you say, okay, I've done all of that stuff, Tanya, I am ready to move forward with the hire, make sure you are identifying the skills that you need, because once you start automating some stuff and putting in additional operational efficiency, a lot of that manual task stuff is going to be taken care of. So you need somebody who's going to be able to perform at a higher level, which means that the skill set needs to be different. Think about this as a go, no go framework. Do your assessment or your audit. Make sure your workflows are stable, because if today you do it one way, another time you do it another way, a human's not going to be able to come in and fix a moving target. Your workflows have to be stable. And then also think about, have I exhausted my tech stack? All of the things that I know how to do, have I tried to solve this with automation or AI first? Or, right, because there could be a knowledge gap with yourself, have I gone as far as I can go? And then do I need to bring somebody in to kind of help me identify some of these things, which is one of the things that we do in the leadership shift. We go through and we identify, when we're talking about your processes and your workflow, we're going through and identify opportunities to automate and opportunities to maybe enhance a process by using AI or the combination of both. And I'm supporting you through that. I'm not doing it for you. You're doing the work. That's why the price is the price. But I am supporting you through that and helping you to basically look at your business with a new lens and figure out how to get that done. And then the last thing is understanding the return on investment, and is it clear? When you hire someone, you want to think about, can I point to exactly how this person will grow the business at this point in stage, rather than maintaining the status quo? You want, when you're bringing on someone, you want to be able to help you go to another level, and being able to identify that is going to be beneficial. And don't be disheartened if you bring somebody in today and then tomorrow they're not doing the same thing. Hopefully you find people that can grow with you. My virtual assistant, oh man, I don't know exactly how long. I've been in business 10 years. She's been with me 8-9 years. She's been with me probably longer than that, probably from the beginning. As soon as I was able to get help, I hired her. And it started out on a project basis. She would help me on specific projects. I would gather up things together, create a project, and she would help me do it. And that's a great way to trying to be as efficient as possible, because everything doesn't require that you have somebody there on board every single day or every single week. So kind of think about that as well. But having somebody that can grow with you is extremely beneficial to growing your business. And if that's not the case, that's okay too. We kind of have to move in the way that we need to move. So make sure that you are thinking about what the return on investment is and being clear with that. All right. So think about it, leaders. Your goal isn't necessarily to build a big team. It's to build a high performing, a high leverage team. Growing is it's exciting, but growing chaos is going to be expensive. make sure you take the time to get some of these things done. Your homework, take this week to audit just one single process and go through and see, don't look for a person, look through and see, okay, is this something that I can automate? Is it something I can enhance with AI? Like I said, even if it's components of it and it's not the entire thing, that is fine. That's a win. Think about it. If you can increase your operational efficiency by 30%, you are ahead of the game. And that is time that you can get back to now allocate towards something else. It could be something in business. It could be something with your family. Maybe you are spending an extremely large number of hours within your business and you need to cut back. All of these things matter and you're going to find them to be extremely helpful. So, kind of think about that, look at the process, figure out where it fits within the bucket. Am I going to eliminate it? Is there an opportunity for operational efficiency, or does this require a human and I need to delegate? Even if you're not delegating today, knowing what you need to delegate is going to help you kind of decide who your first or next hire should be. When you finally make the decision to hire, you won't be giving them a job. You'll be giving them a streamlined platform where they can actually do the high level work that you're paying them to do, and they can do right out of the gate. So you're not losing time and you're paying for time where they're not being productive. All right, that is it. Thanks for tuning in to Leveraging Operations and Leadership. If this episode helped you rethink your next move, make sure to share it with a fellow leader who you believe this could be helpful for. And then also, if you can and would, I am asking you to please take 30 seconds to review the podcast, leave us a review, and you can also send us a message as well. All right, I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.